What's up, guys? Welcome to the review of the Microsoft E3 2018 press briefing brought to you by Dense Pixels. We are currently live right now. You might be listening to this in podcast format later, but that's okay too. The Microsoft press event just got done. We watched it together. We probably should do watch-alongs next year because the commentary was pretty funny. They showed off 50 games this year, sort of, in a lot of ways, shape, or forms. So I will start with Carrie. Give me your overall impressions of the presentation before we get into what they showed off.
I would say it was sort of exactly what I was expecting from them. A lot of games. They didn't give me a reason to buy a console, though. So
fair enough, Micah.
I thought it was fine. It's what I thought it would be. You saw what you expected to see. You saw a lot of third-party games that are going to be available on most other platforms. If you have an Xbox and you want to play, these games on that's perfectly fine.
Very, very vague, nigga. Like,
it just if I had to give it a letter grade,
I will save that for the end of the podcast.
Right.
We'll do letter grades at the end of the show.
All right.
Terrence joining us. We're not here for the pre-show. You did make it in time to watch the entire presentation. Noted former Xbox super fan.
Yeah, I'm here.
yeah.
And what did you think?
Yo, I'm just disgusted with Microsoft. Like I am. At this point, they had what, 2 exclusives?
They had more than 2 exclusives.
I don't believe it.
True exclusives to the Microsoft
Forza,
system.
whoa. Gears, okay. Halo, I don't care. I haven't played Halo in like 10 years.
So underwhelmed is what you'd say. So
again,
I think that's putting it kindly.
the strongest console on the market, and there's nothing on it to play that I can't play on anything else.
So let's talk about it. So they kind of laid out the roadmap. There's a few things coming out this year they talked about, but a lot of stuff they teased is coming way far down the future. Let's talk about the exclusives, and let's actually talk about what they bookended the show with. Pretty much bookended the show with Halo up front, a teaser for a new Halo game called Halo Infinite. Not Halo 6.
But it is a Master Chief
still
Halo
starring
game,
Master Chief, right?
So I wonder if they're just discontinuing the numbering system at this point.
It's possible. It looked a lot less, and forgive my ignorance because I'm not a Halo fan. It looked a lot less sci-fi-y than the other Halo games generally are.
I mean, if you remember the first Halo game, it took place a lot on the ring, and the ring itself had like Earth features to it.
Mm-hmm.
The title is, I'm curious if it's just a naming, like dropping the number, or if Infinite means something, like if they're turning Halo into Destiny or something like that, something to change it up a bit. Now I know he says you play as. Did he say you play as Master Chief, or
they called it a Master Chief adventure, basically?
Right. So maybe Master Chief.
Dan Phil Spencer said.
So maybe Master Chief is a character, and you are a Spartan working with him. I don't know. I'm very curious because you have to do something different with Halo, right? And to just ape Destiny just feels like the logical progression for where Halo needs to go.
Interesting. And then
purely speculative.
And then at the end of the show, they did show a preview for the story for a new Gears of War. It's just being called Gears 5 now. I guess they're dropping the of War part of the title, whatever, I guess. Kate and black guy from Gears of War 4 go off on their own separate. I don't know the guy's name. I'm sorry.
Dell.
Okay, Dell. They go off on their own separate adventure. It looks like in this one. This game is slated to come out next year. It's probably gonna be Microsoft's big first party holiday title for 2019.
I can't wait for the porn parody of this interracial relationship.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to read all of the butthurt man children who are mad that they have to play as either a black man or a woman in the new Gears game.
That's hilarious.
Especially now that they made JD look like a badass, right? He's got a
like,
scar
and facial hair.
Yeah, he's got
and
facial hair.
Skinhead. And...
Yeah, he's a skinhead.
So like I said, I guess it's a mainline Gears game.
Well, yeah. As far as Gears, mainline Gears game. Do you want to talk about the other?
Well, so I don't know if this was a troll or what they were doing. The first Gears thing they showed was a Gears like pop figure thing. Now I'm still not convinced that that's a game.
Yeah,
yeah, they didn't show anything.
I was losing my mind in a negative fashion when they showed that.
No,
show.
I think that's a game. I think
they had the Gears
because they've done Gears of War pops before. They don't need to do another
commercial. More Gears of War
yeah,
pops.
But no, I think it's Gears Pop, a video game that is introducing the Gears of War universe to a younger audience.
Wait, hang on a second. I need to...
That just is wrong.
No, I'm not saying it's a good idea, but given what we saw in this press conference...
I don't know what the fuck we saw.
I am pretty sure...
What audience are you marketing this like brutal, graphically violent, mature-rated game, but we want to make it friendlier for kids to play? That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. That's the dumb. It's gotta be pop figures. It's gotta just be pop figures.
Yeah, I think it might be. Look, I'm not dismissing that it might be a game. I just really hope it's not.
I don't need it to be.
I hope it is. I hope it is.
I'm not even a Gears fan, and my brain is going to melt if that's like an actual game. Like if they make like a Lego version of Gears of War, basically. Because Lego games are cooperative too, by the way. So Jesus
No,
Christ.
I hope it's a game because I just want to bask in how upset everybody's going to be about it.
There was and before E3 there was also rumors of a Gears of War turn-based strategy game that was going to be coming out. That's real. It's called Gears Tactics. Again, they trolled everyone pretty well by showing that stuff first before like making you think that that's all they were going to reveal.
Yeah.
Gears War Wise, look, that game's probably actually going to be good, especially if you like games like XCOM and stuff like that. And being as it's like a side thing for Gears of War, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that's a good way to kind of satiate that audience. With
I kind of like how both of the two major Microsoft shooty franchises now have really good tactics games. Apparently, so of course it's yet to be seen.
Rashawn in the chat says that Gears Pop is apparently going to be a mobile game that's coming out.
So it is a game.
Right.
I'm more okay with being a mobile game, fucking phone game than an actual like Xbox One game. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. To the surprise of nobody, we're getting Forza Horizon 4 coming out this year.
Seasons.
It's got seasons, the changing seasons, and it also is getting apparently ATVs, bikes, and hovercraft. Apparently.
Yeah. I've always wanted to.
Really?
Don't
reenact the teaser sequence from Die Another Day in a video game? Is that what you've always wanted to do? We also had a terrific reaction with Terrence perking up at the mention of a Xbox exclusive, only to find out that it was expansion content for Sea of Thieves. Getting 2 expansion packs. You were kind of like leaning forward, and then you saw Sea of Thieves.
I don't think I was even paying attention at that time, to be honest with you.
Almost walked out of the room.
No, it was something else that I almost walked out for. I can't remember what it was. We'll get to it.
There's speaking of expansions for games that should be like Xbox Live exclusive games, like marketplace games. Cuphead is getting a new expansion in 2019, we think. Considering that game took 8 years to develop, I don't know.
I'm not particularly optimistic about their release date on that, but hey, a new playable character. You get to play as Miss Chalice now. Now I want to actually play this game instead of just listen to the soundtrack.
You didn't want to play it before?
I don't like things that are hard, Brad.
That's fair.
Good luck.
Yeah, because that game's gonna.
I know it's really difficult, which is why I haven't played it, because I'm a ween.
We're Battletoads coming back.
Yeah,
what do you think about
shown.
That? Nothing was shown at all other than the games coming out. So let's wildly speculate briefly on Battletoads. Do you think it's going to be true to the originals, or do you think it's going to be like a 3D like new?
Who did Battletoads? Rare.
Rare did.
Rare.
It's gonna suck. because they haven't come up with a good game.
But it'll probably have great water effects. I bet.
Yeah,
Battletoads.
Look,
to do.
It may be like a remake of the original.
No, I don't think it is. They said it's an all new experience, but they said it's like 4D. What they called it 2.5D platforming or whatever.
4K 2.5D experience. Oh yeah, they did mention that.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like obviously we're in sort of this period of time where everything from 20 years ago is now coming back,
but that's like 30 years ago.
Original Battletoads was 82.
Yeah,
came out like
in early
1989.
I don't know, man.
I think you were just born when that game came out.
Yeah, you were like a zygote.
The game was old shit.
A literal fetus. I mean, obviously we didn't see anything. We just saw vague cartoony graphics. I think the opportunity is there for this to be like cool and fun and like a cool throwback if you do the style right with like a really cartoony, like crisp looking, like cell shaded style.
Well, it's got to have the Battletoads trademarks of like the giant like fist and feet.
Like, well, they had the Battletoad in Killer Instinct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did the same kind of shit. Basically.
Yeah, it was basically a Battletoad character with the same moves. So I mean, they can do it, but it's just. Who cares?
They did decide to show a Crackdown 3 trailer for something. I mean, they moved past it as quickly as fucking possible, but they did absolutely show it.
Because it doesn't look very good.
Who gives a fuck? Like, this game has been in development for 6 years.
Well, and it's funny because we remarked like later in the show they showed the premiere trailer for Just Cause 4, and really like if you like Crackdown, just play Just Cause.
Yeah.
Like at least you know that game's coming out for sure. And it's got all the same kind of shit basically.
Just Cause comes out in February of next year. We first saw Crackdown. Crackdown 3 is coming out in February of 19th of
right.
2019.
Just Cause is coming out December of
Crackdown
this year.
3 was premiered in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing?
They jumped the gun a little too early, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, what
they needed to continue to record Terry Crews just yelling.
Like that's just offensive, and the game don't even look like it's been in development that long.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
It doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, but that's like when it comes out and it comes out on freaking Game Pass, so you don't have to buy it if you have the Game Pass. People are not gonna care. People already don't give a fuck about that game. It's just that's a very disappointing situation.
Yeah,
it just doesn't look like you said. It just doesn't look sharp. No. Like the animations still look janky. Like it doesn't look like a game you'd expect to see have been in development for the past 4 years for sure.
Like maybe the destruction is what they've been working on. Maybe everything is destructible.
I don't know.
Everything. Well, everything better be destructible.
I don't know anyone that's like excited about.
I better be able to level the entire world. By the time the game is over, everything better be rubble.
Yo, I better be able to blow a hole to the center of the
earth. Right, like come on, man.
In the chat, Demons84 says Crackdown 3 looks like a Telltale game on steroids.
Yo,
that is not a compliment.
Yo, you right, but you shouldn't say it. Like
that's sad. Yeah, that's really sad, actually.
So the one thing, the biggest thing, personally, that I think the biggest news they had, I talked in the pre-show about the fact that they needed to really build their first-party studios, and they actually announced that they've signed 5 game studios to their first-party development. The initiative,
one of which we already thought was one.
Right, well, 2 of them actually. I think that we already thought.
Wait, what?
So the initiative is a new Microsoft first-party studio that's based in Santa Monica that they're starting now. So don't, I guess, expect to hear anything from them for a little while yet. But Undead Labs, who makes State of Decay, is now officially in the Microsoft tent, which we assumed they were
already because
Playground Games, which makes Forza Horizon, also now officially owned by Microsoft. Compulsion Games, who makes We Happy Few, is an official Microsoft first-party studio.
A game that, by the way, still isn't out. I think we all thought it came out, but
it's
not out.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out August 10th now, I think they said officially. It's been early access for 2 years. And but I think the biggest one, arguably, Ninja Theory, who of course did Hellblade, one of the most critically acclaimed games of last year, is now. And I think that's actually a very savvy move on their part. I don't know what the next project from them is going to be, because I think one of the things that worked to their advantage is making a game that was a little bit smaller in scale, because some of their other games, like Enslaved, did not really.
I liked Enslaved.
I liked it too.
It wasn't all that great, but it felt really weird playing it, but it was a good game story-wise.
I think it was too long. I think that was the problem. Is that I think their games work very well in a smaller capacity, and Hellblade is like what, a 6-hour game or
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, where they told a really interesting story but kept it tight so that you didn't get a chance to get bored of it. So I'm curious to see what the future will be.
And they did DMC
for Ninja Theory. They did the
they
remake?
did DMC. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go. So I think that was actually a really smart move on their part as far as getting a first-party studio. And again, I don't know if we're going to see these relationships bearing fruit for at least 2 or 3 years, possibly. But this is how you start the path to recovery, basically.
Sure, but of course, this is something that they probably should have done
4 years ago.
I was going to say 2, but you're probably being realistic about it.
When the console came out.
Yeah.
Because it's 2018. Like, how much longer do they have in this cycle?
I mean, probably 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah, I was going to say 3.
So all that shit is going to be coming out like at the very end of the console
or on the
cycle.
Xbox,
or on the Xbox, whatever.
Or Xbox Omega. That's what we're
exactly. So like,
is the Xbox Omega.
They still have fucking failed in this console generation,
right?
Because they've got these new developers, but like they're not gonna just slap stuff together.
Like, it's exciting, but I think if we're being realistic about what this is, it's very much a too little too late sort of situation.
That's and when they were like, oh, we got these 5 developers, I'm like, okay, what are you gonna put out
so
in the next 2 years?
So of these exclusives, do you guys think that there's anything in there, and there's a couple we didn't really touch on too much. Ori 2 they showed a trailer for,
right? We first saw that last year. I think there's a launch exclusive game called Tunic that looked interesting, looked like a classic Zelda. It is a launch exclusive. That's the thing. Like, can we talk about how many of these exclusives were just console launch exclusives? That like
it's the same thing they did last year. Like, they're being purposefully vague.
Yeah.
In that regard, so that you can, I don't want to say trick people into thinking that you got to get an Xbox to play some of these games.
That's what they're trying to do, is trick people, and I don't blame them given their sales numbers. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, how many of the exclusives that they said, oh, they opened with 18 exclusives or whatever, but how many of those 18 were actually 100% Microsoft exclusive?
Like 3.
4?
4 of them? 4.
Well, actually, no. If you count the sizzle reel of ID at Xbox games, that was like 15 games. You could probably round out the full 18 between the console.
Yeah, I mean, it's
the
just
actual exclusives.
You know, they said, oh, launch exclusives, so it's arriving on Xbox first. But with a lot of these launch exclusives that I think we maybe got excited about, all of us were just like, I'll just wait for it to come out on PlayStation, like.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so let's talk about some of the games they showed that are not exclusive, but they had a lot of world premieres.
Sure.
In this trailer, or in this presentation rather, that I think, honestly, the stuff that we were the most excited for was the world premiere games that were not exclusive to Xbox. Like, so that's.
Oh, sure. I mean, here's the thing: is that overall, this presentation, this press briefing, presented a lot of things to get excited about. Unfortunately, most of those things are not Xbox exclusive titles.
Well, and listen, I know what you guys want to talk about first, but since I'm steering the ship, Cyberpunk 2077.
I'm fine talking about Cyberpunk, man. Look, I mean, it's just a trailer, but the fact that it's coming from CD Projekt Red, like, this is the next big game, like, I'm super jazzed for it.
And we knew it was coming. Like, they announced this game, I feel like 2 years ago, but there's been nothing about it. Like, they've, other than,
CD Projekt Red is very good at
they keep it clamped down. I mean, it helps when you're half the world away.
This is also true.
And so, but the fact that we have a trailer, it looks like it's very far along. Is it too much to hope that this game's going to release next year?
I don't think next year. No, I think next year is totally possible.
Like the end of next year.
Yeah.
You don't think they would put it out in May, like the same time period that Witcher release?
I think it'll release when it's ready.
That I do believe is
true. I'm
sure.
fine with that.
But yeah, man,
I've never finished The Witcher because, again, that time frame doesn't do anything for me. But I definitely pick this up.
I'm really excited.
Because The Witcher's a very good game, but I'm just like, I don't really fucking horses and shit, whatever. Man. I just don't care. I mean, but like, he's got a badass car and this shit. I'm like, yes.
Jay and I were talking about this while the trailer was on. It's a Blade Runner video game. That's all I've really ever needed is Blade Runner video game, and from a studio who says that they can do it, or that's shown that they can do it, I should say.
Right.
All right, you guys can, talk about DMC 5, yeah.
5.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that it's Nero again, but I mean, it makes sense since this is a true sequel. He looks really weird.
Yeah, I thought it was DMC Dante.
Yeah, I was like,
I thought it was Ninja Theory Dante.
What are they? And then I forgot he's got the sword. I forgot what it's called. People are going to be mad at me. Someone in the
wacky arm.
What's it called? What is it called, folks? His sword.
Considering that they haven't released a new DMC game in 10 years, I think you can be forgiven for
getting I think that's
tiny
fair.
specifics
like,
of.
I think his gun is like the red rose or some shit like that, and I can't remember what the name of the sword is. But
it's the sword with a clutch on it.
Right. But like it's
right.
It's clear that just like God, graphically this game just looks gorgeous.
Yep, and looks out of control. His hand is different. He's got like a mechanical hand now instead of his whatever the hell is the demon hand, which is a little strange. I guess they're gonna give the backstory as to what the hell happened to his hand.
Sure. The Red Queen.
Yes,
is what it's called.
Red Queen. I knew someone knew it. Thank you,
Alonzo Rock.
There you go. Thanks, Alonzo. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I've played every other Devil May Cry game, all of them, multiple times, even that terrible second one. I don't know why I did that. Like I really don't. But yeah, I'm hyped for it. Like it's Devil May Cry.
And the thing is,
and Dante's in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, much as the trailer clearly shows that Nero is going to be the main protagonist of this game, Dante's still gonna.
Here's the thing. I hope they don't do the backtracking shit like they did in the second.
Yeah, that was really weird, man.
Because you played Nero and then you switched to Dante halfway through, but you played all the same levels that you played Nero in. I was like, that's kind of whack. So hopefully. Because you're going to get to play Dante. You can't not have a Devil May Cry game and not have Dante playable. Hopefully his levels are going to be different than Nero's. Yeah. But I will pick this up day one. Whenever they tell me I can reserve it, I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Now, the game that the three of you arguably, not me, the three of you are arguably most excited about is a new fighting game in the Shonen Jump universe.
Three of us.
Yeah.
It was just me. It was me yelling.
No. Just Gary?
Like, I've got Dragon Ball Z. I don't know who the fuck all those other people are.
Because anime is fun.
Shonen Pirate Man. Yeah. What is his
Luffy.
Luffy.
Oh, Edibles Hungry mentions that apparently Nero, Dante, and Virgil are all going to be playable in DMC5.
Oh, snap!
They didn't even show Virgil. I wonder what he looks like.
Something for later on. But Jump Force. Pick a better name, guys. First of all,
I'm not mad about it.
It's not a great name. I'm just saying. What do you guys think this is going to be? Obviously, it looks like more of a 3D arena fighter.
It's going to be like the what are those games? Well, I guess the One Piece. What's the main one though?
The Naruto
jumpsuit, yeah. It looks like a Naruto game with a different graphic style, but it's just got all of this Shonen Jump.
It looks like basically a 3D arena fighter.
Yeah, I don't like 3D arena.
It's Anime Smash, guys. Like that's all this is. It's 3D Anime Smash.
I don't like that style of fighting game.
I'll tell you, it's going to look terrific on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not buying it on Xbox.
I also want to talk about, and it's easy to forget because it happened right at the beginning of the presentation. There's a new game. Is this the same From Software game that was teased at the PlayStation?
I think that's what we're guessing is what it was.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be shocked if they were working on two games simultaneously, and one of them wasn't Dark Souls. But Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. This is again the new game from Software. It's coming in 2019. It looks pretty interesting. It looks like a very polished game so far. What they showed in that trailer.
Yeah, it looks like you're sort of playing as like a zombie samurai dude, and I don't know, it looks cool.
I'm fine with that.
It's like Samurai Souls.
Yeah, Samurai Souls. There you go.
All I know is it's by From Software, so my husband's going to play the shit out of it.
Yeah, so From Software, they're a solid game developer. Like all their games have been pretty good.
Yeah.
I've never played a Souls game.
Did you download the Surge?
No, I wasn't.
Haven't they taken that away from you yet?
No, that shit was free.
It's still working.
Yeah, that shit was like legit free. Like I was playing it the other night.
Interesting.
Like the Surge is basically like futuristic Souls.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
If you had,
it was Terrence's like 5th best game of 2017, really if you recall.
That's right.
5. It's a fun game.
It was the top 5 of 5.
Yeah. Number 5.
All right, so let's piss off much of our audience real quick. I do not understand.
I know what you're about
to say. What the appeal of Kingdom Hearts is. I don't get it. The game looks like a 10-year-old game. The voice acting is fucking horrible. And this was the trailer that they showed at the and arguably the longest non-gameplay trailer of the event. Like
well, it featured some gameplay, but it wasn't a gameplay-focused trailer. No. Right. The big thing about this trailer was that it showed off the frozen world of Kingdom Hearts 3 for the first time. This was a world that I think had been discussed.
I want to see
before.
I want to see an Avengers world.
This was the first time that they had actually shown it off. No, you're not getting that.
It's Disney, right?
It is, but I mean, the game's been in development for 8,000 years. So
bring it out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I saw a lot of my friends freaking out about on Twitter was the last little bit with Aqua, who is the figure sort of shadowed who picks up the Keyblade, and then she turns around and her eyes are yellow, and it's like, she's possessed by Xehanort.
Here's my question real quick.
I don't know.
So, why in the year 2018 do we still have the same awkward pauses before dialogue in Japanese RPGs that we had in Final Fantasy X? Why is that still a thing that happens?
It's Square.
It's awful.
It's
awful.
I don't have.
Stop getting hype about this fucking game that should have come out 8 years ago.
Oh, by the way, can we? While we're on the topic of Kingdom Hearts, can we just? I'm gonna pat myself on the back, given that during our prediction show last week, I said that Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to be delayed into 2019, and I was correct. It's coming out in 2019.
And people are freaking out. They're like, oh my god, they showed it during Xbox. They're going to show it during PlayStation 2, guys.
Yeah, no, we're absolutely seeing it during the Sony.
By the way, Dave in the chat has my back. He says The Room has better voice acting than Kingdom Hearts.
God.
Wow.
And you know what? He's right. I'm going to fully agree with him.
That's
the dialogue in The Room sounds more natural than that of Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm putting it on the record.
to my pals watching and listening that I can't. I don't know. I can't.
Oh, hi, Goofy.
Oh, hi.
Like I said, I watched that trailer. This is arguably the first time that I've really sat down to watch any of the new stuff from Kingdom Hearts 3. And I'm just like, why is this still happening? We'll move past that. I'm gonna try not to shit all over your dreams and expectations, everybody. So listen, and a lot of trailers in this one. It's a hard conference to talk about because most of the stuff they showed was just a minute and a half long trailer. Like, here's the game, and you'll get more stuff on it later in the week. But I mean, if you're gonna fit in 50 games into a 90-minute presentation, I guess you just have to blow through.
You know what we didn't blow through that probably should have been blown through was the Division 2.
Yeah, they did. They showed off Division 2 for the first time. We got a little bit of an extended gameplay trailer,
which was gotta love the pre-written awkward banter.
Can we formally put out a resolution to just stop putting the awkward banter into games? Into these trailers where people are like, oh, we're going to talk like we're real squad guys, and not like everyone's getting online and being like, this is the shit that happened to work today. You know what I mean? Like, that's talk about anything but the game that's in front of you right now.
Or make it more realistic. Like, go, what are you, a girl? Go in the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
Yeah.
Your mom's a nigger. What? Like, huh? What?
I mean, if you're going to be totally
shoot stuff,
if you're going to be totally accurate about that, you have to raise your
mom's
level.
The N-word. Like, all right, thanks.
I was actually, and I'm not going to play this game because it's really not my forte. I was actually very intrigued by the trailer they showed for Dying Light 2, which is a game that I think still kind of goes under the radar a little bit. Because it's not as
Yo, they're still bringing out DLC.
They're still putting out content for free. I mean, it's not something you have to pay for. That's I like studios that do have that length of support for their games, and especially like if they're not even charging you for the content at this point. That's pretty cool. And I know that there's a smaller but a very dedicated community that still plays Dying Light and still really enjoys that game.
Like $15 on PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean it's great that game's getting a sequel. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised because the game actually did do pretty well. But I think it looks solid again. Not something that I'm ever going to play.
Like, I've always wanted to play it, but I'm always like Dead Island. Yeah. But I might play it. I might download it.
And then and that's pretty much like the big hits. Oh, Just Cause 4. By the way,
that's happening.
He jumps into a fucking tornado.
Yeah.
You don't
drives into it.
Right. You don't need Crackdown 3.
He drives near it, then he stands on top of the car.
Yeah, it's like fuck
as the car is lifted into the tornado.
Because why the fuck not? That's what you do in Just Cause.
Again, play that instead of Crackdown 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I was fucking Sumo Digital, like after watching that trailer, I'd be like, you know what? Let's just pack it in, guys. Let's just fold up the tent and maybe we'll go back to making Dead Island 2 again, perhaps.
Which apparently is supposed to be coming out in January. But they didn't show anything for that.
How many Just Cause games have come out between Crackdown 2 and Crackdown 3?
There's about to be 2, probably. So.
Yeah, no, I think.
Right. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Jesus Christ.
And there is one more troll job. They console launch exclusive, and then they big camera zoom out. And you see skateboarding. I was like, oh, Skate 4.
Yeah.
No, it's a skating game called Session, which Micah then looked up online and found out that it was a Kickstarter funded.
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter funded game. It was funded in 2017. It's coming out 2019, and it's a skateboarding game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I remember there was a whole era of skateboarding games.
Yeah.
Not just Tony Hawk,
And the skate games surpassed Tony Hawk because they were better.
Because Tony Hawk games, I mean, when you flew up in the air, you flew up in the air like 87 feet to do all these different tricks. It was very arcadey, and then they came out with simulation sports games. And I'm old enough to remember Skate or Die.
I am too. That game was difficult.
Yeah. So, all right. There's a market out there, I guess, for
I mean, I think
it's been a while since there's been a skating game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's why a lot of people were really hoping for a Skate 4 to be announced.
Yeah.
But Skate 4 to be EA, and I have a vendetta against them niggas right now.
Well,
so
can't do that.
I take it you did not watch the EA Play presentation.
Oh, they already did theirs?
It already happened yesterday.
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, you can probably skip it. We'll talk. Like I said, we'll talk about that later this week. So. But yeah, so I mean that was pretty much the Microsoft conference. A couple things that we didn't talk about that we can just gloss over really quickly. There's a new game from the Life is Strange developers, Don't Nod, called The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Apparently that'll be free to play. I guess the first episode on, I think it was June 26th.
June 26th, so a couple weeks, and that's apparently within the same universe as Life is Strange. So
we get a Game of the Year edition is coming for Nier Automata on June 26th as well. This will also be coming to PlayStation 4 or Automata, however the fuck it's pronounced. I have no idea. They showed another trailer for Metro Exodus and then moved on. Fucking past that.
That's my franchise that I don't understand.
Right.
Why
Metro?
I don't understand why it's.
I have the first two on Xbox One.
Yeah,
I haven't played either one of them.
Speaking of post-apocalyptic nuclear fallout, we saw Fallout 76.
They did. I mean, they barely they showed the same pretty much trailer.
Yeah, they showed an extended trailer, and then Todd Howard made sure to remind everyone that the Bethesda conference
was like,
is
we're going to be on in
tonight.
5 hours.
Yeah.
That was the first thing out of his mouth.
Right. Let's see. There's a Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition coming out, also probably to PlayStation 4.
Definitely for PlayStation
FYI.
4.
They showed a Battlefield 5 title card and not much else during this presentation here today.
Like, what the hell was that?
Like I said, they showed a sizzle reel for ID at Xbox and a new. I think they talked about Black Desert briefly last year. It's a new MMORPG that the beta starts for soon. And so, like I said, that's your Xbox conference. So I'm gonna go around the table. So I'm gonna put you guys on the spot here. Why don't you tell me, guys, your favorite moment in the conference, one opportunity that you think was missed by Xbox, and then give me your letter grade for this presentation.
Oh God, what favorite
favorite moment?
opportunity that was missed? Favorite moment?
Yeah, your favorite game announcement, I guess, of the
Can I go first?
Yeah,
so
sure.
I can get mine over.
Please.
Devil May Cry 5 and what missed opportunity?
Yeah.
Games.
They showed 50. What do you want?
I don't remember them.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Like
God.
something that I gave a damn about, they didn't show except for Devil May Cry 5, and that's not going to be an exclusive. Like I didn't see a single exclusive, real exclusive that I gave a damn about. That I need to get this system to play this game on, so they failed. I don't know what system I'm getting Devil May Cry 5 on. I'm getting my Xbox One fixed, by the way. But
oh, finally.
Yeah, it's going. Yeah, they failed.
They failed.
Yeah.
That's your letter grade. Failed.
They failed. F.
An F.
F.
An F.
That seems harsh.
Is it?
I mean, an F would be going like Phil Spencer, like going on stage and tripping over like the main power cord for the conference.
No. No. Look, E3 is designed to make you want to play the game. Is designed to make you want to get a system, right? Like there's specific presentations are designed to make you, well, oh shit, I have to buy this system. They didn't do that. They failed.
Fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. I already have it. If I didn't have one, that wouldn't make me want to buy it.
Is it designed to make you want to go out and purchase this system at this point?
I think
if you don't have it, what's the point?
The
Why would you even
Microsoft,
do
Sony, and Nintendo press conferences are clearly there to make you want to buy their specific console.
Yeah, and if you're not going to bring... If there's nothing like Gears of War, okay, I've played 7 of those already. Halo, there's 6 of those already. Forza, there's 12 of those already. Like, I don't care about those anymore. Like, give me something new.
So you're operating on the not on a letter grading system, but the binary just pass fail.
Like
they
the press
failed.
Conference. No, the letter grade is an F. It's for fail. Like, what else do they deserve?
Right.
Like, for real. Like, let's be realistic right now.
I don't disagree with you whatsoever.
Like, what the fuck are we talking about right now? What else can you have besides an F?
I have to interrupt you, Johnny. In the chat says listening to Terrence is like watching an Elders React video.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I don't understand what you want me. What do you want from me?
And like I said,
it's ridiculous.
For you longtime fans know this. If you're new to the Dense Pixels podcast, if you learn nothing else from this show, know this: never betray Terrence ever, or you will be dead to him for your entire life.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not going to be as harsh as you are, but my letter grade was going to be a D. Because while I had moments in this conference that I was very excited about, none of the things that I got excited about are making me want to buy specifically an Xbox, because they were either console launch exclusives, which means I can fucking wait, or they weren't exclusive whatsoever, which means I'll buy it day one on PS4 or Switch. So, you know, my favorite moment of this presentation, as I'm sure you guys could probably guess, was the Jump Force game. Anime Smash Brothers, I'm here for it. And then I think...
But you're not getting it on the Xbox,
No,
right?
I'm not getting it on the Xbox. So I think the missed opportunity was showing me like a true exclusive game that makes me want to buy specifically an Xbox One to play it. And they didn't do that.
Okay, Micah.
The disappointment is what you were hoping for, which is a new IP exclusive to Xbox.
You guys are taking my shit. I don't like it.
Yes. Hey man, don't.
The downside of going last.
Yeah, so. don't go last. Don't be like that episode of the Cosby Show, man. That was my biggest disappointment. The best moment for me was Cyberpunk. Like, just the idea of, okay, Cyberpunk is real. Like, it's happening. Like, Cam is like excited for Kingdom Hearts. Like no, this is happening. Letter grade. Look, as I see this press conference, not necessarily as a reason to buy the system, but as a source for giving out information as to, you know, what's coming. Like, you have an Xbox, this is what you are this is what you should expect from us. You know, it's a C. It's a C. You know, if you are a one console person, you are excited for these things that are here.
Sure.
If you are not a one console person, then it's a D. Like, it just doesn't. There isn't anything exclusive to Microsoft that it's like I can you know, it's pride, right? Like, I can play this and you can't. Yeah, right. You know what I mean?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness a historical Dense Pixels moment, because out of the four of us, I'm going to be giving Microsoft the highest letter grade of this presentation, because I was going to give it a B-.
A B-,
which is higher than Microsoft Gentleman C.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Higher than Carrie's D, and also much higher than Terrence's incomplete, basically.
A B+, a B-.
B-. Well, don't be throwing us there at the end of this stuff. I gotta stay on brand.
What?
I mean, their job is to get, like you said, is to get people excited about the slate of games that they have coming out. And if you are foolish and you can look and you don't look past the fact that the vast majority of the most exciting games are coming out on both platforms, then I think that you're pretty stoked for a lot of these games. Like I said, Cyberpunk looks like it's going to be cool. I can't wait to see more about it. Just Cause 4 looks like another Just Cause game, and like I said, I think they're tremendously underrated. I'm even sort of excited about DMC5. Again, a game that I'm never, ever going to play. But again, I'm happy for all of you that are getting one. And with Microsoft, like I said, they also kept their core fan base very happy. I mean, this if think about it, if you're an Xbox fan, this is one of the best presentations you've ever had because you're getting a new Halo game and a new Gears game announcement in the same year. Like, that's pretty cool if you're an Xbox fan. Ori 2 is sure to be good. Forza Horizon 4, I mean, it's fucking Forza. The thing for me that was the biggest positive, since I was going to say Cyberpunk and Micah stole it from me like an ass. I'm going to say that it's going to, it's the fact that they seem to realize the way forward now. The fact that they're bringing together some first-party studios, that they are going to make an investment in their games division. Again, you're not going to see fruits of this labor for the next year, the next 2 years, but I think this is how Microsoft goes on the path to recovery, is by getting themselves right, by laying a foundation and eventually capitalizing on that down the road. I think that's the most exciting news for me. The biggest missed opportunity, like Micah said, it's the fact that there is no first-party new IP exclusive game that's coming out that makes you say, "Oh man, this is a reason down the road to get excited and own an Xbox." You definitely didn't see that. I think that's a huge missed opportunity. Maybe next year, possibly. But yeah, B- I think is a perfectly legitimate grade.
I think that's
for
being
this Microsoft
generous.
presentation.
I think it's a little generous.
generous.
I think it's a little generous, but yeah, I agree with your logic.
So from the chat, real
I
quick,
don't.
couple thoughts from you guys. D-Men's84 says Sekiro was his favorite moment. No additional price cut was the biggest missed opportunity.
For the Xbox One X.
Yeah, maybe drop it
At
at $50.
this point, yeah.
I mean, you can imagine it, because like I said, I know it's on sale for $50 off this week because of E3, but imagine if they had Phil Spencer come out and be like, by the way, this price cut this week, that's now permanent. You can go buy a One X for $450. I think you would have moved a lot more units.
Yeah,
if
I think people would have been real excited about that.
Amir says favorite announcement was DMC5, but he'll be getting that on PS4 anyway. Leonardo says that Cyberpunk looks dope as hell. Favorite moment was the Funko Gears game with not Skate 4 as a close second. Johnny says no Lost Odyssey 2 is an automatic fail. That's his golden son.
Okay, you know what?
You
know what? I feel you. I
do too. I love that game, man.
Lost Odyssey, was that Mistwalker or something like that?
Yeah.
Studios, maybe by the dude that did the like Final Fantasy 7.
Was it Final Fantasy something? Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it was Mistwalker.
But yeah, so that was the Xbox presentation.
It was trash.
I still can't believe that I gave this the highest.
I can't believe.
I
don't agree with you at all.
I pegged you for a C+ at best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
B-.
B-.
I thought the presentation was engaging.
I
thought it was engaging. So.
Was it?
It was. I was, especially towards the tail end of it. I was kind of getting somewhat excited about a lot of the games they showed off there. So.
But you ain't never gonna play.
That's okay. That is okay. Terrence, I can be happy for other people, even if it's not something that
I can be happy for other people as well. But like, if that's the only system you have, I'm sorry.
I think my final thought on this presentation is that I hope that the 5 studios that they have now signed on to be first-party developers start to turn out some really good work.
I hope Undead Labs does something better than fucking State of Decay 2.
I hope that Microsoft and the Xbox One becomes the home of some really high-quality first-party titles that you can't get anywhere else. And I say that because, if nothing else, competition is always good for the industry at large.
Well, and I think that's the biggest downfall of the fact that Microsoft is not as competitive right now. Is that it's not. Eventually, that's going to have a negative impact on PlayStation. You have to expect if they are having nobody pushing them as well. Maybe that's their grand plan the entire time. We don't know. So, any final thoughts, guys, before we wrap it up here?
It was fine. I wasn't. I was neither excited nor disappointed. I noticed there wasn't a date on that Gears.
It's in 2019.
Yeah,
it did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I noticed there wasn't a date on that Halo.
There was not a date on that Halo. That's for damn certain.
Late next year.
But you know, I'm still a little more excited for the rest of the week.
Very cool. I would agree with you, like I said, but I think Microsoft had to step up, and I think they did a adequate job.
I think they
not a great job, but an adequate job.
I think they hit like a. Is there something in between a single and a double?
It's like a single that goes like deep to left center, but it's a slow guy, and like he makes a big turn to second, and you're like, I should stay at first. We'll call it a wide turn single that they made.
There you go.
So very cool. Well, that is it for us. Thank you guys very much for watching. Again, just a reminder, terrible.
Yeah, it was.
You're such a harsh grader.
I am.
Like you literally have like taken them and like fucking lit the match and thrown it behind you, and the explosion's going off as you're walking away.
Yo, they came out with a new console 7 months ago with no games to show for it. Come on, yo.
Terrence
what
is
the
like,
fuck?
And you know what? The other reason for my B- is because I'll give them credit. They only said the most powerful console on the market once.
Right.
They said it
one
once.
time, right? But like, yo, that's ridiculous.
I think it's timely. I saw How to Succeed in Business yesterday, and there's a line from the final song that I think applies to Microsoft today more than ever, which is, "Remember, mediocrity is not a mortal sin."
Damn.
Well, what else do you say? But again, this is far from the only E3 coverage that we have this week. If you guys are watching this live, we will have a pre-show for Sony tomorrow night, followed immediately by a post-show of the Sony conference. We will do a live Nintendo conference. It's not going to be around the time of the Direct. It will be later on Tuesday night. But we will do that live so we can interact with you guys in the chat.
I gotta drive home from a little parade happening in DC on Tuesday before we can do Nintendo.
Well, like I said, it's tentative for 7:30. If we have to push a little bit later, we'll let you know. And then we'll also have podcasts later in the week where we cover the best of all the rest. We might do a wrap-up podcast late in the weeks once we get to see all the stuff that happens during E3 week. So tons of content. If you haven't subscribed to Dense Pixels, make sure you subscribe to the podcast feed, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You guys can check it out. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, and then we will see you tomorrow night to talk Sony.
Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.